The mics are not hot, you know.
Only mine is it. My mic is not on yet.
Mm.
All right. Nigga should be here any minute. That stuff going on in one.
Just so get better pick up. This is the first show that I'm gonna have where I'm.
Might be your last show in here.
Yes, you could.
Um,
It looks just like a black shadow.
I know.
Even though the start looks a little messy, I have three of the most important people, um, as far as community stakeholders. How do I stop this thing from making me feel like I'm gonna fall backwards? They all do that?
The
Yeah,
chairs?
They all
Yeah,
do
I think
that.
so.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have a funny if I fall off this chair.
No.
Hi, welcome to Nina's Bag Podcast. Nina's Bag Podcast I developed to create a safe space to have conversations about a multitude of topics. Today, we are going to discuss with three of the most powerful community stakeholders that Kingston has. If you need to know or want to be involved in something positive or that actually affects the community as a whole and is inclusive, these three people are the people you want to talk to. We have Miss Alicia McDonald,
Hello.
ladies first. We have Tyrone Wilson,
Hello. Hello.
and we have Frank. Everybody knows who's Frank.
Hi.
My Kingston kids. Tyrone has Harambe. So today I wanted to talk to these three people because they're all doing so many things, positive things, jumping in with other people, collaborating. Their personal businesses are like off the hook. Like Tyrone's done so many things, Frank has done so many things. Elisa, everybody tries to get you involved so they know that they're going to get a good crowd. So when you know you have movement like that, this is the kind of stuff we need to do. We need to bring it together. I want to know what you guys are doing, what you have been doing, what you plan to do, and anything else you want to talk about. It's easy.
Ladies first. Ladies,
Ladies
first.
first.
I love it.
Go for
I
it.
love it.
Uh, well, right now, what we have going on is I'm on the board of the Broadway Bubble. So I've been on the board for 3 years now, and I've been talking back and forth with the Broadway Bubble staff about having community birthdays quarterly, because I see that there's a need for it. And initially, when I thought about the need, it came up because I don't know if you guys are on Kingston Mutual Aid on Facebook.
I remember you telling me about
Yeah.
this.
So every time I'm on Kingston Mutual Aid, I would always see parents, mothers saying, "It's my son's third birthday this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything. Can anybody help out with
Mm-hmm.
either money or cupcakes or something like that?"
That's
Um,
real.
and it is real. I've been there. I've been that single mother, so I know what that's like. And it's just important to celebrate children, to celebrate birthdays. So my initial idea has been to do quarterly birthdays. That's about
Wow.
to hopefully start with the Broadway Bubble, with the Broadway Bubble's help. But the kickoff has been the quinceañera. So we're doing a community quinceañera
Mm.
on August 1st.
Keep that up. I'll
Keep
hold
it
that
up.
for you. Sorry, Frank.
On August 1st. And
Our lighting's not great,
it's
but I
been,
want them to get it. August 1st.
yes, August 1st. And the kids that have signed up, they get a table and it's reserved for them and their family. So they can invite 10 people, 8 to 10 people. Right now, I have a total of 5 kids that are going to participate.
Wow.
And the girls and the boys both get to pick out their dresses and the suits that they want to wear. And I
So
have to,
the suit, so their outfits, which is a big deal
correct.
with quinceañera, is are they donated or do they
It-
have to buy them?
No, they don't have to buy them. I have a good friend of mine that it owns a quinceañera type of boutique,
Nice.
and she's allowing
Really
us
nice.
to She does not rent them, but she's allowing us to kind of display these
Oh, that's
dresses that she
awesome.
Nice.
has. So I'm
Sweet.
going to be able to take the kids to go pick out the dresses and the
That's
colors that they
exciting.
want and what they want, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
We're also going to have, traditional food, and we're using restaurants from within the area. You know, we are going to have music, of course, and
Gotta have music at quinceañera.
the other, it's just we want to bring a little bit of our tradition to the community,
What's R?
Hmm?
When you
Latino,
say R,
the
Latino.
Latino community.
Okay.
Um,
So,
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No, go
interrupt
ahead.
you. So, if it's quinceañera, I mean, negra people have quinceañeras because it's like a great excuse to have a party at 15.
Right.
So, you're doing a range of ages, though, right?
Well, I want it to be inclusive. So
That's
if a
nice.
person wants to celebrate Sweet 16, you know what I mean? In the
Can they be
American culture,
17?
16, uh, we're trying
So,
to keep
that's
it
what
to,
I want.
we're
What's
trying
the
to keep it to 15. We're trying to keep 15.
15, 16?
Yeah, 15, 16.
Got it.
Right. We're trying to keep it
And
to
it does
that.
not,
And then,
they don't have to be Latino. They can be
no, they don't
negra.
have to be in a thing, they can be any culture. And right now, it's a very mixed culture that I have of the five
Do you
kids.
have color?
I have white, I have color, I have Spanish.
I love that.
So it's great.
Mm.
So here are a couple of the things that you can expect. In a typical quinceañera, they have you do the
Distracting,
tradition
right?
of having
I like it, though. Sorry.
of having
We'll see it.
the girls wear their sneakers
Cool.
with their dress, and then once they get there, their father or male figure in their life they sit down and they change their sneakers into heels.
I love that.
So that's a tradition.
I like it.
Another thing that we're doing, a lot of the quinceañeras, they usually go to church first and get blessed by a priest, pastor, or whomever.
Mhm.
This event is going to be behind CCE at the rooftop in the back. What's that called?
That
The
was
terrace.
That's the terrace. Okay.
Energy Square Terrace.
Okay. So what we're trying to do, the Iglesia de Dios on Broadway,
right across the street.
right across the street, at 2:30, the girls and boys that are participating and their families are going to be welcome to go there, and that pastor is going to say a prayer over them, a blessing over them, and then they're going to cross the street and walk right to there. So it's
Really
going to
nice.
be really nice seeing the girls all dressed up and
I
walking
love
across the street to
I
their
love
party, to
it.
their quince. But yeah.
I think this is going to be amazing. So you said quarterly. Right now, this is your kickoff, right?
Yeah, this is kickoff for quinceañera, but when I'm talking about quarterly, it's just all birthdays, children's birthdays, because that's important.
So basically, this is going to, when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, this is great. You're going to have a lot of people that will be willing to invest. You'll get more kids. So if that happens, will you be able to possibly do another one in a couple of months? Is that what your goal is?
Well, actually, with the quince, I'm just trying to do a summer quince,
Got
you
it.
know,
So once a year.
annual summer quince.
Got
But
it.
with the quarterly birthdays, it's for the little ones,
Got it.
and hopefully be able to circulate it in different places, not only at the Broadway Bubble, but maybe at a park, maybe at Kingston Point, who knows? But
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it's for any nationality.
any.
So important.
So if you're in need, if there's parents out there that really want their child to participate, there's still time. You can contact me or someone at the Broadway Bubble, Jill, and let them know that you have this need, that you would love to be a part of the quinceañera.
Awesome.
to
Are you
be
going to throw your
celebrated.
number out there?
Yeah, I am.
Awesome.
So my phone number is 845-559-7710. And my name is Alicia.
And this will be posted. I'm hoping to have a shot of this on the site, on the YouTube channel. So the date again,
It's August 1st.
August
at 3
1st.
p.m.
And the location is CCE building is how most people refer to it, but there's a name that you just gave me.
Energy,
Energy
Energy
Terrace.
Square
Energy
Terrace.
Square Terrace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice place to have it.
Well,
I saw when you dressed it up before. Beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful
Yeah, it's so
idea.
nice.
I
was
love
like,
Oh, you saw it.
It was
Oh.
beautiful.
Frank was there the
I was
last
like,
time.
So-
I need this whenever you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have
call
a
you
question
for
though. Like,
decoration.
Yeah.
I think that you mentioned, but this is the first time I think I'm hearing it in real detail, and I think that's pretty cool. So, what do you have? No, so better question is there anything needed that you don't have for this event that maybe we can put out there, or maybe
know,
we can help, or
Thank
I
you so
haven't
much.
heard anything.
Thank you
That's
so much for
beautiful.
saying that. Because
Yeah.
you know what? I do need help with servers.
Okay.
And I would like to keep it classy, so I would like people to dress all in black or a white shirt and black pants, something like that.
Okay.
But servers is really what we're going to
I
probably
gotcha.
need help serving the food.
And what about
You want
you
to dress
said
up as a bouncer?
He can do more than the bouncer. He could.
Ty has organizational skills that are powerful. So he might be able. Like, is your friend from Newburgh going to come and bring her equipment,
Equipment is what?
the couch and everything? She
Oh
had
yes,
really dressed up.
absolutely, yes.
It was
all
laced.
the decor
It was
because
so laced
I-
last time.
Okay, so I love decor. I love decor, and
I see.
this
She's always tight.
So the person, my friend, I'm gonna give her a shout out, Miriam's Boutique in
Miriam's
Newburgh, it's on
Boutique.
Broadway. So she's known me since I was a little girl. She was my mother's best friend. So I get
hooked
to
it up.
select the stuff that's at her store. You know, and she gives it to me at an extremely cheap price. She just wants me to, you know, she really wants me to start my own business in decor.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so she's going to be bringing everything over.
She transformed.
And
Well, you transformed that
That space. Yeah.
Yeah.
terrace. Yeah.
so she's going to
Awesome.
bring
That's
everything
nice.
over early morning, and I'm going to sit there and decorate from early morning.
I'll be right there with you.
So what
I'll
is
be helping.
so I'm sorry that's
No, that's okay.
Oh, good.
So what is so you come in to the space. What's there? What's the amenities? What's going on in the space?
Okay. So you know, you're familiar with the space.
Yeah.
obviously. Okay. So you know where they have the what's that called?
the gazebo.
Gazebo, like
Gazebo.
a gazebo type of thing.
Yep.
There you're gonna see it's gonna be really nice decor. It's gonna have like sheer white. Everything's gonna be like off white and white because I don't want it to clash with the girls' dresses. Girls are gonna select different color dresses, so I want everything to be very neutral and white. Within there is pretty much a lot of where girls the kids take selfies because they have it's going to have a nice couch.
There were
and
stations.
It's going to be
The last time, different stations,
decor.
and each one was
Correct.
cuter than the next.
Gotcha,
like
gotcha.
you're like, oh, this is cute, and then you see the next one. One was so laid out with the couch.
With the
I mean,
couch,
they
the
bought a
white
couch from
couch.
Newburgh.
Yeah, white couch.
It was
nice.
It was really nice.
And then there's also going to be like a dessert area, complete
Okay.
dessert and candy, where kids get
It was
baggies and get candy.
more than
and
enough.
Stuff. And
Yeah.
then if Frank,
Yeah, we had the
is
camera.
we had the photo
It was
booth
really nice.
there,
Okay.
and
It was lit
you
up
know,
in the
and then
dark. That was
each
hot.
table, again, like I said, all the kids that are participating are going to have their own table to invite.
And the
10
tables
you
are
had a DJ,
beautifully
right?
set.
And I had a DJ, and we're gonna have a DJ as well.
Yeah.
The tables were beautifully set, like really classy. They had like overlays, and they had like things under the place settings. It was beautiful job.
Yeah.
Really, really. Like it reminds me of a
awesome.
cotillion, which is what I'm trying to do. But we'll talk about that another time.
You know,
But
and I'm
cool.
hoping that as it grows, as each year we do change locations. You know, like this is a smaller location. You know, hopefully if it's like big and we get a good outcome and we get people participating and joining to, we may do it indoor in a bigger space. And
right, because you always. But let me tell you, on that terrace, it's beautiful at night, especially with the lighting that you had the last time.
yeah.
So I don't want to harbor the whole thing because I know these two men have a lot of good stuff to talk about too. What if somebody sees this broadcast and they want to be involved? A kid, that's 15, 16.
Contact me, or they can go directly to the Broadway Bubble and let them know that let one of the staff know that
I would be
they are
possessive. I'd be
interested
like, you gotta call.
in. They can call me.
You're close. You're close to
You
that
can
time.
call me.
Yeah.
But if you can't reach me, But you
Broadway
will be
Bubble.
able to reach me because I'm always on my phone.
This is your
So,
thing.
Yeah, it is.
She's
It
been
is my
talking
baby.
about this for years, and I was happy that I got to see the first one. I was like, when I
Yeah.
walked upstairs, it was like it was transformed.
Yeah, I
You
was
didn't know where
blown
you
away.
were.
Yeah.
Like that lady
Yeah.
from New, she
It was
bought 2
nice.
trucks of equipment up
Yeah.
here.
yeah.
Yep.
Crazy,
I mean, you know, on the 6th floor where we used to work at,
right?
they had a whole meeting up there. You walk out the elevator, it was like,
Right.
she
Right.
had it on deck. I'm like, what is the president
Right.
coming up in this
It
joint
was
or something?
crazy.
Oh, when the charcuterie
We had
boards.
the charcuterie-
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
did a
man.
charcuterie board. I
Right.
love that's my
Had
thing
it all
too.
decked out. I'm
Yes.
like, they don't deserve this.
No, I love.
Guess you do need to open that business.
Oh, you talking about that
Yeah,
building?
we was upstairs on the 6th floor
Yeah.
on a cold day. It
Yes.
was the sun too.
Yeah,
Right? So
it
we
was.
just
It
sitting up
really
there.
was.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Please.
Yeah,
That's
I love
funny.
doing all that.
What's the day and time for the
Okay,
event?
so it is August 1st. It's a Saturday at 3 p.m., 3 to 7.
Where's the church things? Go
It's at
start at 3.
2:30.
Okay, because that's
So
ahead.
I'm gonna let the parents that whose children are involved,
Come to
to
that.
have that choice if they want to attend that as
Nice.
well.
No pressure.
But there's one thing I have to say. I had received a phone call from a father that said he wanted his daughter to be a part of this.
Nice.
And after I hung up that phone, I said, "This is the reason why I'm doing this."
Yes.
He indicated that his daughter's birthday was this Saturday, last Saturday, and he was emotional. And he said, "I wasn't able to throw her a
Oh,
quince-
she's gonna have
a
the time of her
quinceañera."
life.
And I was so moved by it because in our tradition, for a father, a Latino father, it's tough. You want to give your
You feel
daughter
like you
a
failed.
quinceañera,
Yeah.
right? So
But he was
he's
he's such
so
a good
excited,
father
such-
that he reached out.
yes.
He found another resource.
Yes,
That
it was
says
great.
a lot.
It was great. The conversations we were having, and when I hung up the phone, I said, "This is why we're doing this.
That's right.
This is amazing." Yeah.
That's not how many. I mean, we all grew up from crazy times. All of us sitting at this table. I can honestly say that. How many of us have watched our mothers struggle
hmm
to try to give us a little something when she really didn't even have that? This is
Yeah.
perfect. So
Yes.
thank you, Alicia. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great.
So Ty or Frank, whichever one of you, let us know because you
Frank,
be
boy,
doing
you
a
got us
lot
going.
of stuff. You must not sleep.
Oh, jeez.
Hurry up, you can get on that meeting.
That
Yeah,
means
because
you
he got
ain't
an
going.
agenda.
He got an
He got
agenda.
Pure
He got
Ready got an
That,
agenda that he
that,
wants.
that means you ain't going. He trying to.
I love the way
slide.
his mind works. I'm telling you,
Sorry,
it's
that means he
crazy.
ain't
Ain't
going.
nothing I can say that you can't say for me.
That's right. Vice versa.
Vice
What
versa.
are you talking about?
Well, that's actually kind of cool.
That is.
Ty's
That
gonna
is.
say with an iron fist though. He gonna be like, the,
No,
table,
I'm
the whole
not.
table's
I'm-
gonna jump when he
I
says
think
it.
all 4 of us are supposed to be on that meeting.
Right.
Yeah, we are,
Right.
and, and we will be.
All right, let's get to it. So, real quick,
What are we talking about?
what are we talking about?
Right, what are we
Ty,
talking
right
about?
here, Ty.
Right here. Okay.
No, right here on your nose.
Okay.
Yep.
There you
Perfect.
go.
All right.
All right.
Let's
So,
do it.
one, I just want to just go back a little bit and just acknowledge the Juneteenth
So many
ceremony,
things you've done.
which was awesome. It was
It
pretty
was
much
amazing.
our closure for the archaeological digs at the burial ground. If anybody knows, we've been doing archaeological dig for 3 years since 22, which kind of a little bit for, but so since 2022 we've been doing archaeological digs. What is archaeological digs? That means we go into the plots of these individuals who are buried at Pine Street. I always like to tell people why, because some people felt like that was offensive to go into the plot.
No,
They felt
they
like
were
it
just
was
thrown in there.
well, it's when you doing something like this, you have to embrace it all, right? You have to embrace the understanding to the non-understanding.
And you did,
know?
Ty. I gotta
And
give it to you.
So to
Pull your mic closer. I want to make
Oh,
sure they don't miss it.
so to talk to I want to talk to the individuals who really didn't understand it and felt that it was offensive, to let those individuals know that there's a history there where it was blatantly this site was blatantly trying to be reburied, cover it like it never existed. There's an article in in the newspaper from 1843,
Wow.
where there was a call out to all the black people in this community to come get your loved ones out of those graves because they was going to
Really?
build
See,
on
this
it.
is history right
Right.
here.
So just with them saying that
Mm.
was enough for them to start using in our time, which is now, to start using it as this no longer a burial ground. Which is why when we inherit this
Yeah.
this job,
a journey.
when we inherit this, one of the beginning things we had to do, and when Frank, let's go to it. It started with the land trust actually going to Frank. Frank was the vice P on at Harambe, or the P, I don't know, whatever.
VP.
He was something up
Harambe.
on Harambe, right?
It was
and
several things.
and they came to Frank about the burial ground. I didn't even know yet.
So wait, the land trust came to
Frank.
because they had intentions of doing something
So
with that
what
space?
happened was the land trust was, and they was actively looking for land to purchase. This is how the land
And
trust.
they didn't know that it was a.
They didn't know. Like,
Okay.
and Joe Diamond and Ed Ford, the late great Ed Ford, since 1990 was already on this project and knew all about it.
Advocated. Wow.
Ed Ford fought his whole life until the day he died, literally.
But see,
about
this
this project.
That's why collective is important, because I never all the
Right.
things that we've been involved with. How come we didn't hear that?
Right.
Because he probably had tirelessly been advocating.
Yeah,
for
I
that
mean, if you
space.
look at, if you really have to look at the articles and information to find this, because it's there, it's all in the records.
And they've tried to save it
right.
in the past with
Absolutely. So we
Ashley
called
and
ourselves
other
the fourth
people.
wave because there was three
Yeah.
other
Wow.
times that people was telling the
Attempting.
municipalities to stop building on this land,
Wow.
and we now have those 3 other times,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm just starting with the 1843, time that
incredible.
started all of this, and because of that language, that one language that went out there, we had to prove that they're still there.
Ironic. That's very
Right.
ironic.
And I just want to say, and it was just so incredible how it all happened at the same time. Like that year, the African Roots Library just opened up.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which
was
big.
doing my Kingston Kids already,
Yep.
but just met Ty really
Yep.
that year, and we just started Harambe, and we also just started Black History Kingston. All in the same year.
Yeah.
And I remember
Absolutely.
and
You
I
don't have-
remember
that's a lot.
in one year, and I remember just putting a message on Facebook saying, has anybody heard about this burial ground on Pine Street? And what's even more ironic about it is I was a school bus monitor at that time while I was doing the my Kingston Kids. I just started. I used to pick up a child right next to the burial ground. In the house right next to it. I
And
used to
you
pick up
didn't
a
know.
child for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And
That's what I
never
meant.
knew.
Right.
And was just going there all that time, So after we put that post out, Rebecca Martin,
Yep.
Julia Farr at the
Oh, I
time,
remember those.
they
names.
already knew the history.
But
So
that's the
they were
point.
just excited to share it with somebody again
Mm-hmm.
because it didn't pass the other time. So when they was able to share it, it just made so much sense for Harambe to take that on. And it was like we weren't thinking about that. We were planning on the festival.
Yeah.
On this festival.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the first
we
African
was
American
planning. We was
festival.
planning. Yep.
And I just have to say it, I was excited about it because I know the culture needed that. But personally, I was doing my Kingston Kids, and I came to Ty like, Ty, would you do this? Would you take this on?
Right.
And he said, yes. Like, that's a big, big deal.
How-
Because if he would have said, nah, I want to focus on the festival, I don't really have the
That
expertise
shows
for
the
that.
level of his
It
mental.
really, really does.
That's what that
It
shows,
really,
because
really does.
he knew that
know?
it was a hellified undertaking.
And he had no idea. None of us had any idea what
How
we
big.
were. Yes,
But he
and
knew
how
that it was
much
a
work
big
it would
deal.
be, but it didn't matter because we just knew it needed to be done, and it was our obligation to do it. You
Right.
know, and we just had great people, and all that stuff happened at the same time. The
Right.
same year, the fundraising.
Yeah.
That
And
that house
and
was
we
on the
was so-
auction block.
Right,
when
we-
went.
Really?
we
Wow.
was
They dumped in?
Yeah.
we was so young, and to my organizational wise and mindset wise too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we was really
It was
young.
a learning process.
So when we had to figure this out, literally, I think me and Frank, I don't know if you remember, I think me and Frank sat in my car. We was in my car in front of the building.
Wow.
And we was talking about processes of how we have to do this.
Yeah.
Because we were so young, like Harambe, the whole board could not put the energy into this.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out a plan, and the plan was that, okay, Frank will be overseeing you, making sure that our board continue to focus on building the African American Festival,
Right.
and then I will focus on what needs to be done with the
burial
land
ground.
trust
That
for
was
the
very
burial
smart.
ground,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of how we
Because
had
it could
to.
have consumed you guys.
It
from-
would no could
from the
have
previous-
it would
Yeah.
have, you know.
Right.
And you know, and we had so much going on, like as Frank said, even before, like, you know, the festivals and stuff was going, we was already setting up for Black History Kingston. It was already going to be
Whoa.
happening,
That's
and that was the whole
And that was
month,
huge. And that was
Oh,
the first one.
right? So we had
Oh
we had
my
all that
goodness.
going on, you know, and then building,
Crazy.
you know, getting ready again for my Kingston Kids Fest,
and here I thought I was
you
doing
know,
some little
which
thing.
was all in the months, and we
Yeah, it
used
was
to.
all in the
It
same
was
time
crazy.
span.
How
So,
did y'all
but
pull
it
this
also
off?
worked well, you know, and not by mistake, right? I always say
Right,
that the
that's-
ancestors was calling out.
No
they was
doubt.
calling out,
No doubt about
and
it.
God was helping us.
it so happened to be that as we started to understand now that we had to hunt this thing down to
Literally.
because
That's
this was
my
because
whole
this was
thing.
on auction.
But nobody.
Insane.
There was a level of
Insane.
ignorance that was
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
guaranteed.
for the
That's what pulled me
community.
into politics.
Mm-hmm.
They doted on us not being aware.
Right,
Or
right.
even if they threw out a little one-liner, that we're gonna miss it.
So I'm gonna say something that's very key,
That's crazy.
and you hold this on your podcast for me. I have to call you back with this because what I'm about to say.
I'm with it.
It was illegal for the municipalities to sell that land. It was illegal
Nobody ever.
because it's in the law, and I had to go track it down to make sure I was correct on it. This is why I could say it.
It would
now.
be like any other grave
So
site.
it was earlier since the early 1800s. This law was in place that any burial ground that's neglected, it is the municipality's responsibility to become the caretakers. This is why regardless of people like it or not, Donald Trump had 562 acres of land, and he buried his wife at that golf course of 562 acres of land.
Boom.
He does not pay taxes for one person
Yes.
being buried there.
Yes.
So you got one person being buried there, and people can say whatever they want about it.
These are
He
the
used the
things-
system the right way because
these
that's
are
what's
the
in law.
things that I'm in admiration for
Right.
you about, because me and probably most of the people that are going to see this weren't aware. And
Right.
I've done a lot of things, but I wasn't aware because it's almost like it was an educational piece that people of color aren't going to be involved. We could tell them
No,
they're not going to be involved. There were probably little innuendos put out there, but we didn't know what it meant.
no, I get it. So I've learned today and learned now that one, it was my calling regardless of what it
Definitely.
was. It was my calling.
Definitely.
Because if you did not, and as I said, Frank just, made his own, testament to it, is that even when it came to Frank reality was, what am I, what are we supposed to do
Where
with
do we
this?
start? Where do we
But-
even start?
He knew me, and he knew how culturally in tune I was.
He knew that you was.
So it
gonna-
was
you
it was
gonna
it
go
was it was
buck
great
those
for him to
walls.
come to me
Right.
and be like, yo, bro, this is what's going on right now. Can you do this? And like I said, I went, I thought about it, and I knew Jessica Vernemark, who was living in the house.
Wait.
Yep,
so
that's
wait,
right.
wait, there
So
was a
Jessica
house there?
allowed
The,
me.
the house that's there now, people were living
I knew
in
Jessica
that
who
house.
lived there.
People were living
They
in
were
the
living
house.
in the
I thought it
house,
was just abandoned.
And it was
No,
on foreclosure.
no,
No, they were living in the
they
house.
had a slumlord
And Ty
that was
actually
charging
knew the
them.
people
That was charging them
that
rent. That
lived
should
in
never
there.
been
They
charging them
probably
rent.
had information about this grave
So
site.
Jessica knew about it anyway. So because I knew
But the
Jessica,
landlord had to
I
know
got
about it.
well,
But he left it. It was
well,
on
yeah. So
foreclosure.
what
Got it.
happened was I got permission from Jessica to go to the backyard, and I went in. You know when
People
I
don't
went into
even know your levels.
no,
Ty.
listen. So go into the backyard. You could feel it, man. Like I'm telling you,
I
you
was
could
over
feel
there,
it.
and I remember you saying that at one
You
of the
can
events.
feel it, right?
It's-
and
everybody
um,
had chills.
with
I
Frank,
got chills right
Well,
now.
Me
Frank-
too. It just
right.
did it to
I
me
got
too. That's
chills
crazy.
right
right,
now.
right.
It's-
So
too.
that's why I say
Wow.
everything was lined up
It was meant to be.
in a way for us that I in my belief, this has been over 200 years before we got involved with it, and this they've been neglected and beat down and covered up for over 200 years, even in death. So now,
and almost
Here-
got completely
right.
covered over.
so
Again.
so this is the thing here, and this is the thing here. We technically saved this land from the second time being on auction. This was the second time this land was on auction, because the first time that this land was on auction, the bank in Minnesota bought it. The bank in Minnesota is the one who put it on auction this time, and that's how we found out. We traced and tracked who owned this land, and
What
it
an
was a bank. It was a
undertaking,
bank in Minnesota.
Ty,
Yeah.
what when you were thinking? Oh, because it's like
I
a
know.
what do you call those things? With a maze. That was a maze.
Oh no, it was a whole.
Like
it was a whole
for you
thing.
to even still.
It was a whole
like
thing.
that was an easy thing for anybody to just be like, I can't do this.
Yep.
It's crazy.
No doubt about
That's
it.
so true. Like,
No doubt
Right?
about
you
it.
didn't give up. You didn't give up.
No,
That's
and you
amazing.
know we've been through the hurdles. You know every wall possible was placed there in front
That's
of us.
when I started
I could
coming
tell
to
you
those
that
meetings.
me and Frank had so many meetings in cars and probably on the phone or wherever, because I had to get it out, sometimes and had to come back to it. It's just what it was
Even
what
with
it
people
was.
in the
Right.
neighborhood. Like I remember,
Right.
I was at a meeting. We were at Restorative Justice Center, and it was a very positive meeting.
Mm-hmm.
The archaeological findings were
Yes.
being discussed by the
Yes.
students. I thought that was the most
Yes.
fly thing. I'm like, where
Yeah.
did they get these kids? Amazing,
Right.
Amazing
Right.
kid students you guys had.
So it was important to keep Joe, who been on a project now for over 30 years. It's a blessing that we be able to keep Joe on the team
That was
and be a
respect.
part of the team, and he deserved to be a
That
part
was
of it
respect.
for the work that him and
For
Mr.
them.
Ed Ford. And one of the things I want to highlight too is that I am, one of the things I'm super. There's a lot we have done, but one of the things I will always remember and I'm super proud and happy about is that Mr. Ed Ford was able to see
Wow, I
the
was wondering
ownership
about that.
be in Harambe's hand when we did the libation out in the backyard.
remember
Ed Ford
that.
was there, and he died three months later.
Oh my
I
goodness.
remember that's
You
where I
know?
felt the chills at that event.
He died 3 months later, but he was able to see his long life of
Imagine
work
that.
be done. There's articles after articles after articles with Ed Ford telling the municipalities, stop building on this.
Let me tell you something. The crazy thing, the connecting piece, once you started digging into it, I found out that my family heritage started on Van Buren Street. And the gravesite over here, the other gravesite, is where all of my family was buried.
Mount Zion, you talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know about
So
any
there's
of
a
this.
connection there. This is what I try to have Kingston people really understand. There's a connection there.
Yeah.
The way I describe Pine Street to Mount Zion, Pine Street are the fathers, the great grandfathers, the grandmothers, the mothers
Elders.
of those from Mount Zion.
Right.
Pine Street closed around 1854, 55. Mount Zion opened up around 1856. So when Mount Zion opened up, when Pine Street was open, you wasn't allowed to have ceremonies and funerals. When Pine Street was in operation.
Because they wanted to solidify that it really didn't exist.
Well, no, not that. That was the law of the land. So when you died as a person of color, you was placed in. You wasn't allowed to have a
Oh, there were
ceremony.
no ceremonies?
A cedar casket placed in the ground, buried. That's it.
Really?
That's all you was allowed to do. When Mount Zion and Mr. Hodge came, when Mr. Hodge being the first,
Right
black
here.
funeral home there, that's when you started to see it was early like 1857, 50, around that time where people of color here was allowed to have funeral services. Mount Zion was
More
open at that
education.
point, and King 157 was closed. So that's how you know that there's relatives connected from
I
Pine
was told
Street
that, 'cause
to
I
Mount
never even-
Zion.
Right. But that's
It's
so deep.
inedible because and this is what a lot of people don't know either. New York State, we just went on the national. We just got to the national. We just got the National Registry,
I saw
December
that.
18th, 2025. Right.
Crazy.
We was notified by New York State, and we kind of knew it already from the documents we found. Pine Street is the second largest burial ground, other than the one in Manhattan.
What?
And you
That
know
makes-
why?
Because you guys dug.
No. The reason why, because this was the first capital of New York.
First capital. Makes sense.
This is where George Washington, Governor Clinton, Stuyvesant, they all here. They all were slave owners. So everything at the high capacity happened here.
Right.
The reason why New York City is larger because the docking started in New York City at the waterline. So you would go purchase a person of color there and then bring them up here till they started coming
Right.
up to the Hudson.
Nice.
I think you're right.
Do you want me to get her? You want me to let her in?
No, she should be
No, because they lock it out. They lock. Zay, can you go let some? Zay.
This is deep. You shouldn't call me in
No,
for this
no,
one.
no, no.
This
I'm
is like
getting,
this is
listen,
like a whole
you didn't,
thing,
you
man.
didn't open up.
So-
I got the
Yeah, this
chills
is
like
the
I
whole
did
thing.
over there at the
Amazing.
ceremony. Do you remember that ceremony when Tyrone
Yeah,
said,
it
"Can you
was
feel
great.
it?" And I was like,
It's amazing.
"Is it
man.
me?" Like I felt like, "Ooh, it was
It's-
crazy."
How many ceremonies we had at the burial
So
ground
many.
to date?
No,
like-
no. We just the funny thing
I
we
mean-
just talked about that we had 8
Eight,
ceremonies.
right? I thought
But the
around
last
10.
one was
Yeah.
absolutely positively.
They're all powerful. in their
No, but
own
this
way.
last one was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
With
it
the
was
with the
incredible.
cat horse and carriage and the
Yeah,
way
it
you
was-
actually specifically acknowledge people.
Yeah.
I took I was in pain that day.
Mhm.
I said I cannot leave here. I just kept taking pictures and somebody was saying make sure you get this. I just was taking. There's so many things to look at.
Yeah. Well, there's a thing too that a lot of people kind of think they miss, and a lot of the things that happened
Sam,
at
did you let her in?
a
Thank you so.
lot of things that happened at Pine Street was community motivated. Like our original thing was to knock the building down.
Yeah.
Because it had an in-ground basement, and Frank will tell you I was furious about that
Wait,
because I already knew
They
that if that house had an in-ground basement, those
Yeah.
graves are gone because nobody turned in no records of remains, so they just did away with those burials there. And I remember coming back to Frank
Wow,
and
they
all, and
did
I'm
so-
like, yo, we need to knock this down, take it down, But it was a community. It was that community there who asked us not to knock it down, and then now we had to figure out a way how we was going to structure. That house was bad. It should have been condemned,
You
and
can't
even
tell
and
none of
even
that
even
now.
and
It's
even and even
beautiful.
with the family there. So this is another
I didn't
thing.
know people were living in
No,
that.
even with the family there. Now the landlord was charging them $1,300 a month to live in a condemned house.
And he wasn't even paying the bill.
Wasn't paying.
It
That's
in
why I was on the
foreclosure.
thing.
That
So-
happened a lot in this area.
Right. So why? So this is what happened. When we made the purchase in May of 2019, that family was still in the house.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We have to wait.
Right. So we wasn't not in the not in the business of kicking people out, putting
we
people
let
on the
them
street.
stay.
So I made a deal with them and saying, hey, I'm gonna give you 3 months. You don't pay us nothing. Take 3 months, hold all your money,
That
save
was
your
dope.
money so you can find something. That 3 months turned into 9 months.
Yeah.
Right. But we
But
waited.
that's beautiful
but
that
we
you
waited.
even
we
offered
we
that.
waited until they was ready to have enough money to move where they needed to move. And so even though that put the project back, but so what? We wasn't putting nobody out in the street.
There's another part of you that people don't know. People always know you're strong. Tyrone don't take no you know what. We can cuss on here a little something. But people know that strong side of you. But how compassionate and considerate that is for you two to stop and think, well, we Because anybody else that was on a project trying to do something, they would have
Like,
said, all
they
right,
call the cops.
yesterday,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta go.
I think it's very ironic though. After we went through that whole process, found the building, found that it was on the auction block. I was going right next to the building
Yep.
every day for 2 years, not knowing. And then this guy knows the people that's actually in the house.
Yep.
Crazy.
Like that's like
Absolutely.
Tyrone's a
he
scary
could have lived.
individual
He
on
could have.
so
He
many
could have been
levels.
any
On
Absolutely.
so
other
many
property.
levels.
How is it that one
That
property,
property, the
that
one
he
that we
knows
needed, too.
the people that's
Right?
in there?
Yeah.
It was.
But that
Yeah.
shows
That
you
was
the
all
depth
faith.
of
It was all
of
meant to happen
trivial.
the way it happened.
Right.
of the trivial things that were happening to us.
Right.
Us being unaware of things, processes, how things happen, what laws are, ain't. That process kept us in that box, that closed box. I've
Absolutely.
always said
Yeah.
Kingston is a closed box.
Absolutely.
I always wanted to leave here, but God did not have he had another plan for me. I did not want to be here because I got pulled into things. And when you get pulled into things with both feet, you jump in with both feet. But your compassion, I love that because that right there is different.
Yeah.
Because this man was taking money from somebody from a condemned house. Like,
Yeah.
what?
And I'm just gonna say this too.
That is a
They've been in there
burial
for.
site.
They've been in that house for 9 months, right? The
I have more chills just now.
the moment they got their place and we went in there, the kitchen floor collapsed when we went in there.
Wow.
And they've been in there since 9 months, and that was one of my biggest fears was that if anything happened to them, we in
We're
trouble.
gonna get blamed for it.
We in trouble.
because we had owned it at that
Right?
time.
Most people wouldn't have even thought about that.
We was in trouble, but we walked in there to go look at the invest the house. The kitchen floor and the floor off to where the bathroom is at, they all collapsed because they had a sink in the middle of the floor and they had heated floors. So it all was rotting out from the
Heat.
waters busting
the
underneath
moisture.
it. So it all rotted out. But it did not. It wasn't until we went in there that thing collapsed.
There was so many messages.
It was very clear what was going
my
on
goodness.
here. And I don't take a lot of the a lot of people say what I have done, but I tell people
No, that was
the
big.
message is about what the ancestors have done, because there's so many times
No,
where
it's
I
deeper
didn't
than
know
that.
where to go, left or right.
And they give you direction.
And they give me
But you
directions.
listen, though.
That's
There's a
what I
difference.
tell everybody.
There's a difference.
That's what I tell
Because our
everybody.
ancestors be
And they need to
banging us-
believe
they
that
be
that's
hitting us
real.
in the back of the head sometimes, but we still be
They
like,
need
well,
to believe that
I'm
it's
still
real
gonna do
because
this.
it's real.
Right.
And the last thing I want to say too is about the ceremony is that because we found headstones already in there,
You did.
we knew that they just bulldozed the headstones. We found broken headstones that was put into
Pieces
a
of
water drain. We saw how neglected they was doing, the dirty stuff that they was doing,
and we can't even imagine.
which is why we put such a big headstone,
Yeah.
monumental
The biggest.
headstone.
With your boy.
And at that's on that land right now is a 7-foot monument headstone that speaks to all of them.
That was
So when you
beautiful.
knock all of that down, we just gonna build higher, and that was the idea of it. The design of that headstone came from when I was thinking about, well, what do I want this headstone to look like? Once again, here go the ancestors working. I'm on my computer. All of a sudden, Martin Luther King's memorial comes up.
Wow.
And I'm looking at Martin Luther King memorial, and he got the water all around his
Right.
memorial, and he's centered. His
Right.
mom. I said, that's it, right there.
Wow.
I said, I ain't
Is
putting
that
the
what
water
the thing
around.
looked like with the that you revealed the other with your
That's what
son?
it
On
is.
Juneteenth.
So
I gotta
if
come
you
look at
look
it.
at the monument, it's a 7-foot tall monument. I wrote the word into the monument that you see on there that you read. So I made sure that it talks to them, but it also implement the community that supported, that made this happen, into the wording. So when you read that, you'll see all of that in there. And then on the back of the monument, it has a big ashe on it, and then it says from the Harambe community, like that on the back of it. But the blue stone, if you look at it, a lot of people may not catch it, but if you look at the blue stone, it's a wave. It's a circle wave
Yes, saw that.
that's going around,
that's
and that
dope.
headstone is standing
Center.
in the center of it. So
You know what I think is fly that you guys did? For as long as I remember you two working on that, your kids and your families were always around.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
your son and your daughter, your girls got history. Like this is
Absolutely.
another generation that like
Yeah.
God bless Ford, Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
You know, but you have always had your son right by your hip.
Absolutely.
You've always had your girls right by your hip. I remember when the baby wouldn't let you move too far from her. I remember that when she was being breastfed or something.
Yeah.
I remember that's how far back I remember
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to be aware and not trying to get out of Kingston at the same time. But God or whatever did
you
not
here.
allow it to happen.
Right.
And that's why this was so important to me, because I was like, there's so many things that they've done.
Right.
So many things that you have done. And like that undertaking, that thing right there, there are people that lived here all our lives that were purposely out chest and not and made to be naive.
Yeah.
And the reason became aware of that when I started going into politics, because I went to C Deli. I'm gonna call it out. I went to C Deli. I was campaigning, and they said, "No offense, Nina, but Nikki got a financial backer. You know, and as much as we like you, you come in here with your son all the time and get our food. We ain't had this parking lot paved since blah 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 blah. It's city property." They went into the political things that I wasn't aware about. But they put a battery in my back because they said, "Nah, you're not gonna win anyways because Nikki is financially
Absolutely.
backed." I went to work.
Absolutely.
They put a battery in my back. I was like, "Oh, this. Let me just show them." So when it was done, I was like, "How are you? How you guys doing? You still got good shrimp here?"
Absolutely.
Like, because they don't. They. I remember being in meetings. They called them good old boys. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
They called them good old boys. I remember they would
still
look
do.
at me for a long time,
yeah.
like, why are you here? I'd be just sit. So for the first part of it, I just didn't talk. I just was a sponge. Like, let me see how this animal works. You know what I mean? But I remember realizing they depended on us not being aware, not being inquisitive,
participate,
They were throwing innuendos out there, but we had different needs. We were trying to figure out how to keep our lights on.
Yeah.
You know, when people say that, I know people that aren't of color think that it's just a saying and we're just talking. No, that's serious stuff. If you don't know how your babies are going to get fed.
Well, that's the. I hope you know that's the systematic plan.
Systematic.
A struggling
It's on my mirror.
a struggling
How do I
individual cannot focus on anything else when they're in the struggle of survival.
Chess.
You're not allowed. You can't really focus on.
It was by design.
Everything else. That's what it is.
Remember when we went to
That's what it is.
Pennsylvania and they said that those highways were by design?
Absolutely.
Those are the things that I kept connecting. Like, this is crazy. We got to take this back. It was open because I was subjected to a closed box.
Absolutely. So, but that's where I'm saying for us and our responsibility and you know.
But not everybody takes a challenge. You're being very modest, Ty.
No. I'm saying you know, I'm unapologetic. I stand on it. I could be by myself. I could be with 100 people. I'm telling you what I have when I came out to myself. Forget about anybody else around me.
Right.
There's a time that I came to myself and I made a promise to myself first. Living my truth, right? Never go with that wave. Because in my truth,
the wave is what kept us
where
we are.
You know,
where we were.
Right. But in my truth would allow me to say, okay, you know, you if I don't be in my truth, in other words, is that I know you want me to dance
be accepted.
to get something or to be accepted, or you need me to be in a certain, you know, place or position.
This design that you
in
set
order
up,
for
you
me,
just want me to
right,
comply to it.
To comply to it.
Right.
And if I don't comply to it, I'm non and void. I made a decision.
Or a troublemaker.
I made a decision a long time ago to accept I could be non and void all day long, you know, because I will never do that.
You're not gonna settle.
I'm not gonna. It's not even about settle. You know, I am settled in a way. I'm settled in a way that I'm at peace, making sure that I am not dancing over here
you know what?
for what they want to dangle. And if anybody else wants to do that, you know, go have it your way. But me personally, I will not be okay with myself if I done that.
I will say this. Sometimes people misread what might look like compliance, but it might be a way to figure out how to infiltrate. See, because we weren't at those tables.
Strategy.
Sometimes to get at those tables is really, really hard. I remember almost fighting in City Hall.
Oh yeah.
Physical. Like,
no, absolutely.
oh yeah, I remember that because for a long time it was like, and not even that that's the topic, but I love your relentlessness. I love the fact that you decided not to dance. But sometimes there's another dance that ain't always understood that has to have to be able to work from the inside. While you're coming to the door, knocking at the door, I want to be in the inside to figure out how to manipulate change. Kind of like what Trump is doing right now, taking us backwards.
Right.
They sat and thought about it.
They
sat and thought about this.
And that's why that's where I learned to respect.
I know you don't like to be political.
No.
No, I'm good.
But this is where
Okay.
this is
Well,
where
it's
this is
important.
where I learned to be respectful for everybody else's position, decision. I'm choosing
Personally.
not to
Right.
penetrate that or try to penetrate that.
Oh, I had to.
I'm choosing not to be at, because that I don't belong at that seat.
Right.
That's not a seat that I belong. That's not a seat that we listen. Here's the thing. We already know what I just told a brother this yesterday. I actually had an elder that came over to the burial ground yesterday. They said they was born and raised here in Kingston, been here for over 60-something years. Don't you know they came in there and said they never knew about the burial ground?
That's what I'm telling you.
They didn't hear about they knew they was telling me. The gentleman said to me in the office yesterday, he said, yo, on Juneteenth, they had this horse and carriage and all this stuff coming down. The thing, he's like, do you know anything about that?
What?
He didn't know.
He had no
talking to
idea.
He talked.
So the problem, here's the problem, and this is an example why I'm talking about that other table where we don't belong. Because while you so busy trying to be a part of that, you're missing this. Because you're so focused on trying to be at that table, which even if you at that table, you're not gonna rattle or shake anything.
I
Right?
that I don't agree
so
with.
hold on, let me explain what I'm
Because-
saying. Let me explain what I'm saying.
I just want to know
Because
how the
you
animal works.
you may what you're gonna get at that table may be an understanding of their process, of what's happening.
That's right.
That monster is way bigger than any of us in
It
here.
is bigger.
But wait, hold on. So I just want you to understand something. If you take the energy of you trying to get into that room,
I could be outside
into that
progressing.
and into that all in that space, that stuff. You could be putting that energy to making sure those elders like that, these kids, our communities are not in the unknown for the very thing that's happening right in their backyard. Because nobody, and they're connected to families here. I asked them, who are you connected to? I ain't saying no names. But they're connected to families here
I
that's
know
been
who.
very much
I
involved.
can tell you who it was. I know.
So it blows my mind that nobody in that space.
Told them.
I mean, the woman cried in the bed. She cried in my office upstairs yesterday. When she looked at that burial ground, she broke down. So what I'm sitting here saying, that is not a them problem. That's a us problem.
It is a us problem.
That's a us problem. We spend too much time trying to penetrate those doors and those walls.
Maybe I didn't put it correctly. So in other words, like, okay, so right now when current administration, White House, is doing all these funky things, they just making up stuff. Like, we're gonna do this. And if it weren't for some of those people that are in political positions, justices sometimes, actually going against it, legally, they would just keep barreling along and just changing things that people worked and have family members die to get us to the little bit of crumbs that we're getting.
Absolutely.
It
But
scares
we had
me.
we had Obama in office.
My mind is blown away.
We had Obama in office, right? If you have never seen it in our lifetime, we have now seen a person of color being
Amazing.
in office, right?
Yeah.
You have to understand what he cannot have. No matter what he tried to do, he
Right.
could not do.
Right.
Right.
They was letting that happen.
So that is very clear. That's a clear message
real.
that he got to, which is called in United States purposes, to the highest level.
We're in
And
war
was-
right now.
It
wasn't even run by
I'm
the
in
whole
agreement to you
process.
about if you don't have certain people in certain places.
Not certain
I
people,
think-
but I need to understand how do
think-
we revert? How do we go against that grind?
I think that issue is this. I think I think there's a place for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes right back to what you said at the very beginning, is that unity. Folks are not working together.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and
They
Ty, a
depended
really
on that in
perfect
Kingston.
example of that. Like all the work that we've done, we've been able to build 2 organizations because we got 2 different personalities.
Yeah.
We got the same passion, but we have a different strategy.
But you still move forward
You know what
on
I'm
so
saying?
many
There's
positive
certain things that he has to do that's just not in my personality to do. It doesn't make him wrong or right. It just makes him different.
Right.
And it's the same thing with me. And the thing is that we both understand that. So you need
That's
people
what I'm
like
trying
Ty
to say,
that's
what you're
able
saying.
to. He has to be there. And there's a lot of people like him. But there's also a lot of people like you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Absolutely.
But it's when we don't work together
That's
don't-
that's
that
the key
makes
right
it
there.
challenging
That's it.
because
That's the key
all
right
those
there.
folks
Yes, sir.
that's doing
Yes.
it his way can only get but so far. All the folks that's doing it your way can only get but so
That's
far.
exactly right.
But when we talk together,
Collective is a
now it's
scary-
like, yo, we're
it's a
gonna do it
force.
like this on this time,
It's
and
a
then you
force.
come in
Yes.
and do it like that. And without
Collective is a
it,
force.
we're all out here alone,
That's a
just
fact.
doing the best way that we can. And I
And-
think that's the biggest issue though, and Ty already talked about it, is for him to understand that, look, this is my way, and I can't fault you for doing it your way, but I understand that that's your way. It's not have judgment on people, and that's our biggest challenge. I say
Absolutely.
as a culture is we judge each other as
So
soon
much.
as we don't do it the way that we think it should be
Oh,
done.
Absolutely.
So
It's,
much.
it's your this, that, and the
or we
third, and it
or we
causes people
misconstrue.
not, and it causes people not
Right.
to want to
and
participate.
it's what
and
they
join
to
in
what Frank
and
said.
connect.
To what
You
Frank
know what I'm
said
saying?
is that it's people. It happened to me and Frank. We're gonna be transparent, right?
I know.
We talked all the time about not letting, because we already knew what we was doing. Me and Frank already knew what we
But
was
not
about
everybody
to do.
know what yours
No,
was
it's
doing.
not even about that. But me and Frank already knew what we was about to be going to do. Like, we knew it, right? When Frank came into the area, he spoke to Drew and Odell and them way before he spoke to me. They told him to come find me, have a conversation with me.
I say no, move back.
Me and Frank talked, and I was working at the Highland at the time. I was working at the state, right?
CFS.
And I remember this. I only had Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. I had the bum schedule because I was the last person on the toll. So when me and Frank talked, and Frank said, "Yo, I want to do this my Kingston Kids thing. I got this going on. I'm doing this. I said, "Bro, I'm off Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Let's rock." Right? He had everything already pretty much in place of what this is going to look like, how things was going to happen. I just happened to know a lot of the intels of the people in the
community.
In the
'Cause
community,
I didn't know anybody.
right? So together, right, as that's how it started.
But that's that.
So together, from that point on, we started doing things in that fashion, right? Even at that moment, we didn't know the identity of us yet, right? He knew who he was, I knew who I was, but we didn't know who each other was.
Because collective is a thing that is very uncomfortable for me, for anybody.
Right, but what I'm trying to say, but this is my point though.
But
So
that's
even
how
though
you made wave.
even though me and Frank, we had an understanding and we said this to each other. What we're doing, there's a lot of people who's going to try to penetrate what we're doing because of who we are, black men. Let's
Right.
start there,
Especially here. Yep.
right? And this is positive stuff that a lot of people are
Wouldn't
not
even care.
familiar with or
Wouldn't even care
have
if it
a
was
thing about,
positive.
whatever. But we're gonna be good in the beginning. Everybody, hey, good job, y'all. Nice. Oh, we love that.
Good
Blah, 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 blah,
trouble.
boom.
I like good trouble.
But you start growing. Go ahead and start growing. When you start growing, the problem comes. The problem comes.
That's right.
People get in between. People start chattering.
Right.
They go this way. They go that way. They in my ear. They in his ear. And if you ain't careful, if you not careful, I'm telling you,
Oh, I know.
it's
where you're
going to destroy you. You understand what I'm saying? And it almost happened to me and Frank. Me and Frank stopped talking for a little period of time.
But you
And we had and that's only because, one, I chalk it up to we both was tired. We both was tired, right? I'm just gonna break, because this is important and this is important.
I'm sure it
we
is.
both was tired, right? And this wasn't that chatter and all that infiltration stuff ain't just started. it was still happening as we was doing everything that we was doing.
Because you'll make people nervous,
mind
I'm sure.
me and Frank was the brains of this stuff. Right, I don't care how people.
And then I started
I'm no disrespect to the ones who've been with us.
Right.
I have a high respect for
jumping on. Like,
right, no,
I remember you personally telling me, these people thought that I was playing. I want a black land trust person. I want a black man that does this. I want people of color. You stuck to your guns, and I thought that it brought more meaning. And I was like, okay.
But the thing is, we have some amazing people with us. But once again, if people are not, you can't get so tired and so weary that you lose consciousness of everything that's happening. Because the targeting and the infiltration will never stop.
Nope.
So while you tired and weary, you better still have some type of guard there to be in your understanding. Because the moment that you're not in your understanding, if you let that go,
being tired,
the infiltration is going to happen.
Things like that break down positive things, and I think that here, for some reason, in this small little town, there was movement by people, but it's just like a closed box. And when that box started opening up, like, wait, who they think they are? Like, what?
Well, that's what it was.
Because forever,
we was called outsiders.
You could
what
go
we doing?
But I mean, even if it wasn't you and Frank, if it was two people,
no, anybody, right,
because they was used to keeping Kingston in the same way. Yeah. If you were black at one point and you came in Kingston up Broadway with a nice car, you're getting pulled over.
Absolutely.
It wasn't a thing that wasn't spoken about. We all knew it.
Right.
I've been in cars where it's happened. You know what I mean? And when I say sometimes people that are not subjected to those things, they be like, really?
But we just have to understand that we severely still broken, and people think that we got past since the civil rights movement and all that other stuff. This
is a good beginning of collectiveness in Kingston. I've never seen that thing. Pull that festival card up, because that's big. I've never seen collective. This is your baby that you started, Ty. Nobody in this group cares that it's Harambe's baby. The fact of the matter that we can be collective, that we are actually collectively supporting a beautiful thing that you started, is a benefit to all of us.
No, absolutely.
But it's very rare to see the collective movement and motion like that. Right. That's why I wanted to do this, because Frank's doing his thing, you're doing your thing, Alicia's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing and being crazy at the same time.
Right.
But I felt like I have an opportunity to pull this all together, because this is positive movement.
No, it
and
is.
Seeing it collective is so fly for Kingston. You can go to Poughkeepsie and see it all day. You can go to Albany and see it all day. But we don't see that a lot here.
Right.
We pick each other apart, or we let somebody push us apart. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've done it myself. I stand on it. I've done it without even realizing I'm hurting that person by even entertaining this conversation.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. It
does. It does.
Because I have my path and my way of doing things. You got your own way of doing things, and that's a crack right there.
Yeah.
The fact that you and him weren't talking, but you guys are intelligent enough, strong-minded people, because Tyrone, you are a monster. You know it.
No,
I know it. We all know it. Wait, if Tyrone puts his mind in something,
he's a teddy bear.
If he puts his mind in something and he don't like somebody, like somebody said, please. I remember going to meetings once I realized that Tyrone's just crazy. He's a knucklehead. Like I gotta, but I still want them to see that I support this man. I remember being at Restorative Justice Center, because we all were picked by somebody that had good intentions for us. And it was somebody that was on the top that wasn't our nationality. I was like, whoa.
Right.
We all at least recognized that we were on the beginning lines of something collective. And then that got dispersed. Bang. It was like, we don't care if he was on the initial committee. This is not the way it's going to be. Simply out of hate for the person that preceded them, that was treated us like people. Like, call Tyrone, see what Tyrone thinks about this.
Right.
Call Nina, tell the lawyers.
Right.
Call Nina upstairs. I want to see. The lawyers was looking at them like, are you crazy?
Absolutely.
Like, there was some funny things going on, but you can't stop good. If good is really good, you can't stop it.
You can't stop purpose.
But this collective is a movement to me. That's so important. I can't express that enough.
You can't stop purpose.
Yeah.
And you just have to understand that I'm my thing now is preparing Generation Next. That's my thing. So that's why I am like loving what you're doing.
What you guys already do with your kids
you know,
too.
you
They're
know,
in everything.
and it's
Yeah.
it's no disrespect. Everybody has the right to pick and choose what they want to do or what they want to be about. But my focus is this younger generation. And I don't really, try to tap in no more. I got other people in there who tap in to the older people if they want to, but I just think that what's more important is that I've seen what I've been through and what's been happening and all the
Mess. It's
messes
very
that's been
messy.
going on, very messy. So
But we learning from the messy though.
that's my key, that I have to focus on Generation X because this is going to happen to them too.
Well,
This is
you're
gonna happen.
showing
Sure.
like how many black men have their kids with them at so many like high level events, and the kids are with it. They're like they're not being bad. I remember like
Yeah.
we were raised that way, but
tear
like
'em up.
we purposely have, and I'm not trying to blame everybody for everything, but honestly, systematically it was designed for you to take away from the family, not
Yep.
to build with the family.
Correct.
So that
Right.
collective movement, I love it. I'm feeling it. And to see different people from different organizations, I don't care what Alicia's doing, I'm getting down.
Yeah.
I trust her, believe in her like that. I don't care what you're doing, I'm getting down. Same with Frank. But I like the fact that this is so many different organizations. We might not all get along or understand, but I did it in City Hall. They were going to get rid of a program. And I said, I need 10 black people to come up here. They were horrified.
Yeah.
They said, Nina, they came over to my desk. We had 12 seats. They said, Nina, what's going on with this?
Right.
Because that's how little we participated. It was easy for them to do things to us. It was easy for them to design the city like they did in Pennsylvania because we didn't participate.
Right.
Even after I got my signatures, you know what they told me? Yeah, well, nice. You got signatures for that war because that was the forgotten.
Yeah, the forgotten.
You got signatures, but they laughed at me. They said, I want to see you get him out to the polls. I said, they don't put another battery in my back.
I also say too that we have to we have to
It's real though.
we
It
have
is.
to
I got a
we have
taste
to
of that.
we have to take some self education
Yes.
and make it a priority too.
Talk about
Because when and this is one of the things I admire with Frank and them when they was homeschooling and schooling and doing all
You
that,
homeschool
that
too?
doing all that
For a
stuff
little
at,
while.
Oh my God.
and but
It's a lot.
I what I do with my son now, my son is 12, right? And what I do with my son is I told him it's important for you to go into the school system to understand the system. But when you home, we're gonna have some
It's
internal
just a gift.
we're gonna have some internal education that's offset of the system of what you just went and spent 7 to 8 hours in. Right. So
That's deep.
you gotta know both
I like
sides.
balance it out.
You gotta know both sides of the scale,
I
right?
like
and,
it.
and even
Because
and
if you
even,
don't teach him that, somebody
right.
else is going to
and
teach
it's not
him something
nobody's
different.
responsibility as far as I'm concerned, because I don't really think that's my responsibility if I'm responsible for this soul being on this earth,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I'm like I tell him all the time, I'm only your father. I don't own you. That spirit within inside your body is you.
Right.
And you at some point, and even
That's
right
deep.
now as a 12-year-old, you have decision making. I can tell you all day long,
Responsibility
right?
for your
I
action.
can tell you all day long,
You're giving
but
them the
you're
plan.
gonna
You
can
always
make the
be
decision.
you're gonna always be responsible for whatever you do. I
That's
don't
crazy.
care
That's
if you
very
decide to
true.
go in the beach and jump in the water. You made that
Made a
decision.
decision.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
this is like real deep in depth education that I have to give my child.
And that's
Right.
something that we,
You know,
I think that's beautiful.
I don't know if you witnessed it, but I love that you included your child in the last
Yes.
event.
Everything.
And he read
He-
something, right?
yep.
It was- you
Yeah.
asked him
Yep.
to write something, and he just
He read his letter to the future generation, which
Yes.
he
That was
did
so
he did the
cool.
math himself, and he said I'll be 62 or 63
That's
Yes,
crazy.
when
at
it's
12
when it's
years
open
old.
and stuff right now.
At 12
But
years old.
there was a young lady. So one of the things I did intentionally, and I don't know if you all caught on to that at the ceremony. I picked just on the spur. I didn't have a selected people. Just as we was there
At that point.
at the point of bringing those remains to the to their final resting spot,
Right.
there was generation people picked
Yes.
Right.
to escort them in.
Yes,
Wow,
I
I
did
missed
So
see
there
that.
was
I
there
did
was
see that.
I did
elders,
miss
there,
that.
there
They
was
were
an
carrying the
elder,
There was
remains,
right?
children.
There was children.
Children,
You
yep.
know, I had the children carry the children.
That's
I
crazy.
had elder. I had I believe Carl was the oldest one that we had there, so he carried the oldest person.
That's crazy. So
And then the teenager
was that what
was one
for
of the
Juneteenth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that was
So
at the
that's what those
ceremony.
things were that you were.
Those are
Yeah.
remains.
It was
And
remains.
and then I'm also going to say this, and I promise you I'm
Holy
gonna be
cow.
quiet.
I did not know that.
You can talk about this. So I did the Black July 4th at Old Dutch Church, right?
I missed it.
Very powerful thing.
I heard.
But when you realize that, you know, it took me 2 days because I individually had to wrap those individuals.
I cannot believe that the
Right.
remains were in there. I didn't know what it
Oh
was.
yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
so
just,
Yes.
everything was
It's
very
beautiful.
That's a
intentional.
banger.
Those the monument came from South Africa. That stone is from South Africa.
wow.
We didn't want no stones from here, so
This
we
is
intentionally
crazy.
got found a granite stones from South Africa. So all that stone is from
Who
South
would
Africa.
think that your
The-
crazy
the-
behind has a
the-
meticulous mind like this?
The
Tyrone?
wraps that they were always wrapped in came from Uganda.
I saw the beautiful wraps,
So
but I never
you saw
knew.
different colors going in there, but they all came from Uganda, and we took those
Wow.
wraps, and then then it took us 2 days to wrap every last individual up. And those crates that we had was makeshift. We made those crates for them.
I thought they were beautiful. I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave that. When I saw what you were doing, I was like, "This is crazy."
Yeah.
I thought you were recognizing people that.
And let's
helped.
acknowledge too that even amongst them was the monkey we found.
Oh, I was
And
wondering about that.
we found that monkey was from Africa. So that monkey was a part of the ceremony
Wow.
as well. So
took
we
the
wrapped
monkey
we
out
we
and
wrapped
put the
History
monkey
that
back.
can't be.
so yeah, I got the
diminished.
monkey also. I
Oh.
wrapped the monkey with the collar and wrapped that monkey right along
It
with
had a
them
collar on
and
it.
and
This is
buried
cra-
it right
this
with the
is
13
history.
And the
individuals.
youngest was 9
9
months.
months.
Old. 9
Are
months
you
old.
serious?
9 month
And that's
old
when you see the little girl. I didn't even
Yeah,
know.
little girl
I
carried.
felt bad. I was like, oh my God, I hope I didn't know the parent. I didn't say a parent, nothing. I was like, oh my God, I hope somebody don't curse me out, you know, because I'm asking this young
No,
girl
you listen.
who
you,
I just saw.
your
you know?
747 went over a lot of heads.
Yeah,
it went
yeah,
over mine.
yeah.
I'm
So
telling
this
you.
young little girl, she was just standing there. I said, "Come here, sweetheart. Come here. I said, "Are you comfortable with carrying?" You know, I told her what it was.
Wow,
and whatever.
I did not
And she
know.
was like, "Yeah." And I'm looking and hoping to see the parent
It
come
was
up,
an
but nobody
honor.
came.
I'm
But she
sure.
came. I had Chuki walk with her, you know, down, and she
Crazy.
took that young one down.
All right, my hat goes
It
way
was
off to you
amazing.
too
Yeah.
because
It was
I
amazing.
did not understand. I remember seeing you at your cart or something. I remember
Yep,
saying
Frank had the cards.
you
Yep,
deserve. You got an award for something. I was like, you deserve that, Frank.
yep.
And then when I seen what you were doing, Ty, I just froze. And right behind that wagon with the horse
Mm-hmm.
was a group of women, these little white ladies that were cute as they could want to be,
Mm-hmm.
with signs called "Divisible" or what?
Indivisible.
And I was like, I got chills from that. I'm getting
Yep.
it again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, look, this is. It was so inclusive.
Yep.
That event
Mm-hmm.
has so much meaning and even deeper than I knew at the time because
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people probably went over a lot of people's head.
I'm telling you,
But
747
it was a thing to be very included in the community because the community was always a part
and you
of it.
said it. You said
Yes.
it, which okay, the people there showed that.
Yes.
But I'm so glad I didn't know. I would have been crying that day.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
know.
yes.
That's dope.
Well, I
did
actually
not-
broke down right at the cart
I can't
because
even
it took while
imagine.
everybody was inside. It took me a minute because
Because look at where you
it
look
hit
at
me
the look at
right
the
there,
look
and I
at
just
the
couldn't do
look
it.
at the
Take
road
it.
you went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of them
Yeah.
dot. We have to come back. I want to give Frank
got
a
it.
few minutes
Yes,
really
yes,
quick
Frank got
for
it.
Do the
empathy.
whole show.
Yo, I know, man.
No,
Yeah.
no, but
That's what I
see,
told you. You should have
that's
said
the
on
power
another
of-
time.
Powerful,
That's
bro. But it's nice. I'm glad I was here. With
People
you,
don't
and
know
with you.
how much of an
It's really
education that you gave us today. Like
Gee. And this
Wow.
is right here in Kingston.
Kingston.
Just so
Yeah.
you know. Right on Pine Street.
right here.
wow,
So,
probably
wow.
some of my family involved in that. That's crazy. But this is how much I didn't know. I didn't even know about the other burial ground. I went to try to see it, but I was creeped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got there and there was dogs barking and just had a
Yeah.
I don't want to go down in there, but I got to see. I didn't even know that existed,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I was involved in politics
Yep.
It's a
because
lot-
you
it's a
guys
lot to discover.
It was like a
Yeah.
movie. You was
It's Buffalo soldiers buried there in Mount Zion. And
wow.
before
Yeah.
the caretakers was former veterans who they aged out,
That I did find
you
out.
know, and they
Yep.
was taking care of it for a long time. They
Right,
was taking care
it's
of it.
overgrown. But see,
Yep.
there's a project right there. I didn't even know that.
Yep.
But imagine that undertaking. But
Mhm.
so what I think you guys laid the foundation where there's no way that disrespect could ever come from that project.
Well, the thing is that burial ground has an easement now on it, which means it's forever protected. So if all of Kingston want to do a makeshift, they can never touch that land.
Beautiful.
So that land is now forever protected.
So
And,
it's considered historical.
yeah, it's on a
But deeper
national
than that,
it's
the
on a
easement makes
national
it-
history. The easement protected forever being built on.
Anything.
Nobody can
Which
ever
was
ever
what they were
build
gonna
on
Or
it.
do.
sold.
Or sold.
Somebody was gonna in the process of.
Well, they was
going
gonna buy that house, and that was gonna be
It
somebody's
was just been a
backyard.
new house. Yeah, it was grass and everything back there. We had
I
the
got to
permit
see it
and-
when it was cleared. Like
Yeah,
I
you
was
should have seen
jumping
it when
in
it
the
wasn't
stages.
clear.
Oh my!
I
Yes,
was
I'm
saying-
about to
I
say.
can't imagine.
It was a forest.
I was
It was
sending
a
kids
forest.
to you to help y'all. Them kids was working. All I
It
knew
was
was
a forest
they
back
was
there.
they was
back.
working. They
You
was
couldn't walk
working.
back. It was a forest.
And it's not just the back; it's the back and the left.
Yeah.
It's behind two houses.
Well,
Or three houses?
the parcel we own because they kept. It was a weird time, right?
I remember that
and-
from that meeting
And
up here.
when we purchased it, we was like, "Wait, we own this?
Yo,
Come with
all
it?"
of
That's
that
how, do you
too?
know that's how
That-
land
that's
is set up
crazy,
here? But
you know?
but people play games with land.
Two
They
houses
always
behind
have.
two other people's houses. We
Yeah.
own
Part
the
of your-
They
backyard.
don't have a backyard.
We own the backyard.
And see, the only reason why I
That's
knew that is
wild.
because you went and looked at those designs. You had
Yeah.
somebody look
Well,
at
we
those
own the
designs.
driveway 2 houses down. We own that driveway.
right. It's like a U. It's like
You know,
Yeah.
people know the game. People know the
Your
game
face
of
is
property.
like, what is
yeah.
That's weird.
At least they
Like,
knew it. Then.
when,
They
when
were-
when I bought my house, my
crazy.
neighbor tried to kind of like act like my driveway was his. I was like, nah.
Nah. Yep.
Nah.
Yeah,
it was
we
the
own-
last
But people
person
play
lived here
games
in
like that,
mine.
We
but
own
two
the
doors-
driveway 2 houses
Yeah.
down, and they kept selling it to each other. The records kept selling the driveway back to each other, which is crazy. We don't know what they was doing, but they kept doing it. so the burial ground does not go from straight to the L. The burial ground goes straight. So the adjacent property that's directly behind us is also the burial ground. So their backyard is the burial ground too. So
How does that work?
So-
how are they with that?
Right.
well
They
we
have to be
well
okay with it?
well they
That's a good question.
no, we spoke with them. They actually gave us permission to go on the
They were
property.
supportive at that meeting.
Right. They gave us permission to go on their property. So those 5 of the individuals that was reburied was from his property.
Wow.
From when we did the Zoom it last year.
Remember when you showed the thing? I don't know if it was a video at Restorative Justice but you showed the actual. I don't know where those students were from, but I know that they were so they were like 40-year-old individuals, but they were kids. Their mentality was. I remember seeing them shifting,
Mhm.
having a rectangular spot. Well, this is your area here. I
Right.
mean, it was so deep. I was like, they really
Yeah.
did this. Like,
Yeah. Well, that was another thing too, because when the negotiation was SUNY Newport, so that was the partnership.
you had to be
Was
careful.
SUNY Newport's. The negotiation with them was that they wanted to give the kids, I think, $1,000 for the 5 weeks, but I negotiated with them to
That was
give them
nothing.
9 credits instead of $1,000. I said that
Wow.
they will not understand it, but they will appreciate it in the long
Because you're
run
going to help them.
because
with their
that $1,000 is going to go boof,
Yep.
but the 9 credits is a lifetime and it
Yes.
helps them get
deep,
forward.
deep, deep.
So we negotiated those kids, those students. We had a total about 75 students in the 3 years.
It was remarkable
you know,
to me.
and they got 9 credits for the 5 weeks of that term.
I remember specifically some of the students had like a rectangular area, and I think you showed a video or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so people don't understand the undertaking to do
Oh, no.
something like that.
Yeah.
Because you can't go outside of that because you might actually affect like to keep track.
Well, you got to
of
also
things.
know that there's no heavy equipment. There's no machinery. This is only shovels and
I
brushes.
know, and I was
dustpans.
like, I remember seeing it. I said, these kids
So
are
that's some
crazy.
real work that they was doing.
And then
Like,
I remember them shifting stuff and not getting anything, and they were still determined to keep going. I would have been like, you know what, I ain't nothing here.
Well, when
But
we
they had
first
to
did
go
it, we couldn't
layers.
determine. Like, we didn't know. So technically speaking, when there was out of there's about 2 feet of dirt. So the
There was layers.
the original dirt during that time was about 2 feet lower.
Right.
So because of all the construction and all the things and all the lumber yards and all the stuff that happened, that raised the land.
So what did you have to do?
So
You just had to
technically
get rid of
they
that
was
first?
they was buried about 3 to 4 feet, not 6. It became 6 from the extra layers of dirt over the years.
Wow.
So I have a
it's like
question.
they just threw them. I mean, that's what it sounded like to me. It was just
I
weird.
have a question, Tyrone. I saw an article of you in Newburgh.
Oh wow!
Like you
Oh yeah,
went over to
I went to Newburgh. Yeah,
to do the same
yeah.
similar thing?
Newburgh called us when they got their plaque, and they called us to do the libation. We went to Newburgh and we did the libation for the memorial site, and unlike them is unfortunate. Their situation is very unfortunate because they have a city-owned building on top of the burial ground.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So
that's
only thing they
messy.
could do is put the plaque there,
oh.
and some of them they can get, but most of them is,
that's horrible.
is under that building.
Under the building.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm getting ready to do
but
something
we
really...
did the libation. Yeah, we
That's
went over
crazy.
and we did the libation for them.
Frank, I'm so sorry. We have like 2.2
minutes.
seconds.
Let Frank go
Yeah,
on.
that's all good.
Can you just say? I mean, My Kingston Kids is a movement too. Like you could say this. You could say My Kingston Kids.
Tell
You
them
could
to hire
go.
me.
You could go uptown.
We can
you go.
afford
You
you.
could go any. You could go to the parking lot by Ulster Savings Bank and say My Kingston Kids, and people are like,
Yep.
yes, they
Absolutely.
know it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, that's been the goal, right?
Yeah.
From
Well,
day one.
you're
I mean, the
doing
goal
it.
is to be a household name, but to be something meaningful for our community that people can trust and engage with,
do.
and love and respect, and and can be considerate to help us. Continue. This is our 10-year anniversary.
Wow,
Yeah, this is our 10-year anniversary.
that's
and,
crazy. I remember Tamika being
Crazy.
pregnant. I remember not
Shaniqua.
Tamika. Shaniqua. I remember her being pregnant in the booth right here by what do they call that? King. We used to call it Kings.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep.
That was the first
remember
time I
that,
met
yeah,
you two as a
when I
couple,
got that
and I was like,
award
she's
that
cute,
time.
pregnant. Oh my goodness.
It's not though. It's crazy because we actually met Nina and Callie on the same day. Do you remember that?
No.
It
When
was
I
in
had the
here.
argument.
No.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
Different
you know
show.
It's true. Callie, you know it's true. You know.
This
Remember
is
we had
when.
that.
Do you remember I had the clown wig on? Do you remember I had that clown wig? It's when we very, very first started, and I had
No.
this clown wig. That's when I met you, and you was like, "Oh, I love you. This is great.
I
reach
like
out to
anything
you,
with kids
whatever."
stuff. I
It
love
was
it.
so cool, but we had just started.
That's when they were doing
You was
rides
vending.
over here.
You was vending at that time. You was doing something. But anyway, it was nice to meet you, and then I met you later on again. But I always remembered you from that.
Your kids have
moment.
always been involved,
And
just
just
like
knew that,
Tyrone's son. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, how we gonna have a kids organization and not have kids be a part of it?
No, but kids don't be wanting to do
So-
stuff all the time. You'll be having
Well,
them
our
at
kids
everything.
grew up in it, so they didn't.
Right.
They grew up in it and they enjoyed
Right.
it, and they
Right.
enjoy what we do. As we're working with kids from 0 to 18. It's really making sure that we are being mindful of what they like. Like, that's why we have a gaming trailer. That's why we do slime cart.
Okay,
That's
so
why we
I'm
do
like a
these
kid.
things.
I just need you to
I
understand
hope
this.
so.
No,
I
no,
hope we all
No,
are.
you'll think I'm kidding. I am never gonna grow up.
I hope not.
Every time I
At
see
least
that
at heart.
gaming truck, I'm like, I want to
Yeah.
go in here and just totally be like a kid. But I don't want to embarrass myself. But my family knows that I'm
Adults
stupid
love
like
it.
that.
Adults
Yes,
love it.
yes.
It'll be
Yeah,
out
so
here
I'm not
tomorrow
alone.
at Midtown Make a Difference Day.
Day.
We'll be out here tomorrow with
I'm
the
at
gaming
I'm
trailer.
at it. I'm at it.
Yeah, and people love it. Most of the time when we're out, adults and parents are like,
I want to do
"Oh,
an
hey,
adult party
yeah,
with
they're
you.
like,
for
do
that.
you do adult
That's
parties?"
what I actually will
We
for.
do adult parties.
You
We
do?
do adult
Absolutely.
parties. We're
Yeah.
actually
That
starting
sounds
to do
so fun
slime
to me.
parties for adults.
You do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because people love that. People
You know-
really.
I'm one
You
of
know
those
what I
people.
got? I got my
Enjoy.
first booking, believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
for a foam party for the
Foam.
adults.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
they about to take it
For
to
the
the
who?
secret.
For
They going
adults.
to the secret
Adults,
society,
yeah.
yo. They taking it to
I
the
got the
secret
foam
society
party for
parties,
the
yo.
adults. I am so psyched about it,
you
bro.
remember the
I can't
party-
Adults
wait.
are
What, you guys
fun.
do phone party?
I can't
Wait,
wait.
We don't.
I
Ty
got it.
is
We do
doing
phone
phone
Wait,
parties.
I want you to see how
Okay.
Alicia's face lit up. when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
you know, do you remember the parties back in the day where it was like a quiet thing? Like people knew about it, but it was the people you wanted to know about the
Right,
party.
right.
And there was closed door parties,
Oh,
and where
yeah, yeah.
there would just be fun parties. When you said phone, me and her
Invite-
mind went to say.
Invite only.
I'm not gonna lie. I when I did it to try it, like you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
try
yeah.
it.
Of course.
I had so much fun.
Yes,
No,
that's
no,
what-
oh
wait,
my god!
So how are you gonna do it? Are you gonna
my
have it like in a pool type area?
No, so the only requirement is that you got to have water access because you got to have a barrel. That,
I'm so
that we have
excited.
to keep the
To make
the
I got a big
solution
yard.
to make the foam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what
My
I did.
yard.
So I did it in my yard,
You did. I've been hearing
and
about
I did
your
it.
yard.
I did it for my
I
yard's a
heard
football
about the
field.
property.
I be trying to tell people,
We
come
need
on,
to talk
come
about
on,
some-
come on.
No,
We
listen.
can have a
Do
we
a
can have a
phone
whole
party.
fest in my
Do a
Yeah,
phone
right.
party. I'm there.
I'll be
I'll
telling
put my big
so
self in
I
a
did
bathing
a
suit.
phone-
Do it.
I
I'll
did
be
a
there.
phone party on the grass,
You did.
right?
So people are slipping and sliding. I love it. I seen that
You
before.
go
That
in
foam
that
is
thing,
crazy.
man. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
god.
And it's not a whole.
What?
You're not drenched
Oh,
wet.
I wish I
pool.
knew
Yeah,
this.
it's like,
But it's like a
dry
party.
kind
No,
of.
But
it
let me
would've-
tell
it
you
would've fit.
something. The kids were so mad with us
Because you
because
took over.
I'm telling you, man.
That's what we need, though. We need
Adults.
fun like that. You know what I mean?
so I'm
Adults
so
are
excited.
crazy.
I'm so excited to do this
That's-
phone party.
You
Okay.
got listen.
And,
we might have to
Yeah,
talk
but
about
I
some
you know,
stuff.
my
I have to book you.
listen. My thing is like my thing is that
Shoot.
whatever
I'm trying to
whatever
do a phone
Frank and them have or what they do, our stuff is in whatever, because it's important that and I tell Frank this all the time, yes, you may have this, but if I have this, you have that. So
Creative
we have to
minds.
make sure
You two
Listen,
definitely got
because we don't
creative
need
minds.
to always. My thing is, if we have a DJ in the camp, we don't need to.
Wait, I saw your
Call a
DJ,
DJ.
one time.
We got DJ
Right
stuff.
here.
Yeah, we DJ.
Wait, I saw your. Wait, y'all had kids this big partying better than we
did.
ever.
We have fun.
It was so many kids.
We
I
do the
was
kick
like,
bop. We do all that
they
stuff.
no, these kids was partying. Alicia, you should have seen
They have
it.
fun.
They was under tent. One of them was DJ.
Yeah, we have
they had
fun
them
with it.
doing stuff like how we used to do the slide. These kids, they was like, do this,
They got their
and the
own
kids was doing
dances.
everything
Yeah.
y'all told them
Yeah.
to do. It was so
it was
cute.
a thing. You know?
It's
I
fun.
like
We
the
have fun with it.
creativity in your
We
minds.
started out with Frankie Bones.
Yeah,
And all that stuff in the back. We used to do all
I
that.
love
and
that stuff. So
Chicken noodle souping.
Yeah, right. Bringing it from the city, but I mean, and it's just
You'll
important
keep
for
growing,
parents
though.
to continue,
Yes.
to engage with their kids.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
think that's a big part of what we do is
I love
bring
that.
parents and kids together.
Yep.
So
That's cool.
parents can get on the gaming trailer with their
Yes.
kids.
That's
They
a
can
fact.
play laser tag with
So
their
cool.
kids. They can do all these types of things collectively
Yeah.
as a
See,
real community.
I'm one of those. I'm
you
with it.
know?
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Yeah. This
So
is
you could go to imaginegamingandparties.com and we have all
Yeah,
our
yeah.
activities there. And we rent a lot of things, So in between festivals, we have
when
all
do y'all
these
sleep?
things. We sleep. I'm about to go sleep now.
Well, we
You gotta stay
definitely-
busy.
Only
though,
get ready
know,
for the
so
next
you gotta
event.
But-
So
stay
tomorrow
active.
y'all are gonna be right out here on
Yeah, we'll be
Franklin?
out here tomorrow with a few things.
Fun.
We may not have everything.
They
'cause
won't have the phones
unfortunately-
tomorrow, yo. Don't come
Yeah,
looking
we
for the
ain't gonna have
phone.
phone tomorrow.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't-
But
I
when you
didn't-
get
I
the
didn't
But
phone-
get the
another,
memo.
maybe at
But they allowed me to record this
African-
party, so I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
I asked them. They told me, yeah, well,
Alright,
watch
cool.
this joint.
yeah,
It's
people.
gonna
I'll
be
be like, don't
hilarious.
judge me. I just
I can't wait. I'm like a little kid right now.
me too.
So it's
I
tomorrow.
can't
What
wait.
Yeah,
time?
tomorrow, 4 to 7. 4 to 7 on Franklin Street.
Franklin Street. Okay.
We'll be
Oh,
at the
that's good
farther
time.
end by the library. We'll have that whole area with
The
a few
event starts
things.
at 4 this year.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. Good time.
And we don't normally
Absolutely.
have everything because the fundraising campaign we're doing right now from the July 4th storm that we were just in kind of damaged some of the stuff.
Right.
So, so we're looking to fundraise for that. So folks can go to mykingstonkids.com if
Awesome.
you have anything to contribute. But, we
Awesome.
appreciate all the support.
This has to be a part 1, and we got to do a part 2 because there's no other way to slice this to do it. I know you got a ton of things coming on, Frank, but I'm like way over my time. I know I am.
Sure.
but please, you'll come back, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. We'll be
Thank
back.
you
Yes.
so much. I can't thank the three of you enough.
Yeah.
Alicia, light that roof up on Cedar Street. Light that roof
Light
up.
it up.
First.
August
Have
1st.
play that salsa, play that
Light it up.
music, light it up. And Ty, keep grinding.
I'm
Keep
on,
being a
for sure.
knucklehead because I actually
For sure.
think your movement is amazing from you being so bold like you are.
No doubt about it.
And I think the educational piece to this that I learned today myself was powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful that you just drop gems just like that. I love it.
Cool.
Anybody want to say anything else before we go?
Yeah, I want to say come out August 8th to the African American Festival.
Oh, we're gonna be
We
passing
are
them out.
popping out. There's
Yes.
some great
Yes.
performances going down.
Yes.
A lot of vendors happening.
If you can't
Free
dance, just
event.
do a two
Free
step.
event. You got
Kingston
the
Point
Kids
Beach.
Village out there.
Good food. You having vendors food
Oh yeah,
vendors?
yeah. We got trucks and
Nice.
stuff happening. It's
Listen,
going down.
come get it.
Yes.
Come
and
get it.
Come out to the Quinceañera August 1st. It's open to everyone.
Yes.
Not just
Cedar
the people
Street.
participating.
Right.
Just come through. There's
Rooftop.
going to be free food, music, a good time.
But the Kingston the
African American Festival.
African American Festival is
It's
going to be at
back.
Kingston Point. though.
Kingston Point Beach
Yeah, we
from
didn't
12 to
bring that up.
7.
Bigger and better than
Yes.
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 ever. All right.
You got anything coming up besides this?
You could just find My Kingston Kids everywhere. We'll be at a million different events
That's a
this
fact.
summer. Just go to mykingstonkids.com, check our calendar,
Amazing.
and donate.
Nina's bag. Advocate, educate, elevate. That's what I feel like we did here today. So, boom, drop the mic.
Drop the mic. Look
Come
out for
back.
the phone parties too.
They committed to come back. Remember that,
I
y'all.
love phone party.
Phone party. When
Take
you
with the
see the
ball
video of
game,
me,
y'all.
don't judge me. Don't judge me. Thank you, y'all. Thanks so much, you
Thanks a
guys.
lot.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Say you got it? Say ya. Did it stop? Because I'm doing the dance. I got to go to the back.